You know that feeling, right? That important email just sitting there staring back at you, or that big project looming.
Oh, yeah.
The thing you absolutely know you should be doing, and yet somehow you're suddenly deep cleaning the fridge or, I don't know, learning origami.
Right. Or scrolling endlessly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Procrastination. It's this universal, totally baffling human thing. It's been driving us nuts forever, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the big question we're diving into today is why? Why do we keep putting off the stuff that actually matters, even when we know better?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Look, our mission here in this deep dive is really to get past that common idea that it's just, laziness.
Yeah, that's the easy label.
It is. So we're going to unpack the science, the psychology behind it, and most importantly, give you some actual practical strategies you can use. The goal is to help make those productive moments, well, less rare and more routine.
Because this isn't just about getting things done, is it? It's about understanding why we get stuck.
Precise.
And then using that understanding to really change how you tackle tasks, approach goals, basically how you show up for yourself day to day. So let's get into it. Okay, so we all know procrastination when we feel it. But what actually is it? Turns out people have been wrestling with this for, ages. The ancient Greeks had a word for it, acrasia. Sounds serious.
It is pretty profound, actually, acrasia. It's that maddening feeling when you know exactly what you should do, what's best for you, what aligns with your goals, but you choose to do something else instead.
Right. Acting against your own better judgment.
Exactly. It's like this internal battle, this force stopping you from following through. Now, in modern terms, we just call it, delaying or postponing tasks. But the key is delaying even though you know better.
It feels like your brain is working against you sometimes. So why? Why does this happen? Is it just weak willpower? Or is there something else going on? I know behavioral psychology talks about time inconsistency.
Ah, yes. Time and consistency. This is really key to understanding why procrastination is so tempting, even when we hate it. Think of it like this. You've got two versions of you inside your head.
Okay.
There's your future self, aspirational, thinks long-term, sets amazing goals like running a marathon or saving for retirement. They see the big picture benefits.
Got it. The planner.
Right. But then there's your present self. And the present self, they live entirely in the now. They want instant gratification.
Ah, the donut eater.
Exactly. Your future self says, let's be healthy. Your present self says, ooh, cake. Your future self knows saving is vital, but your present self sees that shiny new thing they want right now.
And the present self usually wins the immediate battle.
Often, yes. And look, this isn't you being lazy or flawed. It's a fundamental conflict baked into how our brains weigh rewards over time. It's a constant tug of war.
And that tug of war keeps going until we hit that point. I've heard it called the procrastination action line. That moment where delaying isn't an option anymore.
Precisely. It's that invisible line you cross when the future consequences suddenly become very, very present.
Like the report due tomorrow morning.
Exactly. You've maybe felt anxious about it for weeks, but it's not until the deadline is staring you right in the face that, boom, you cross the line and somehow power through it.
But the stress leading up to that.
Whew. And here's the really wild part, maybe the biggest secret to getting things done. The actual suffering. It isn't usually in the work itself. It's in the avoiding of the work.
Say more about that.
Think about it. That guilt, that rising anxiety, the self-criticism, being stuck in procrastination often feels way worse, way more painful than actually buckling down and doing the task.
That resonates, the mental energy wasted.
Totally. And here's the kicker. Motivation usually doesn't magically appear before you start. It often comes from starting. Take one small step, and the urge to continue often follows. It builds on itself.
Okay, that's a huge insight. But if procrastinating feels worse, why do we keep falling into the trap? It seems illogical. Is it some kind of self-protection thing?
You're onto something important there. It absolutely can be a form of self-protection, yeah. Especially in situations with high stakes or pressure.
Oh, so?
Well, by delaying, you subconsciously create an excuse if things don't go well. You can tell yourself, oh, I just didn't have enough time, rather than confronting the possibility that your best effort wasn't good enough.
Ah, so it protects your ego, your sense of ability.
Exactly.
Right.
It often connects to these deeper fears. Fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of losing control, or even fear of success and what that might mean. Understanding that becoming aware of the underlying why, that's the critical first step to breaking the pattern. Awareness is key.
Okay, so if starting is the biggest hurdle and our present self is wired for now, how do we make it easier for that part of us to just begin? Let's get into some practical strategies.
Right. The goal is to basically rig the game in your favor. Make it easier to act now than to delay. Strategy 1. Make the rewards of taking action more immediate. This is where a concept from behavioral economics called temptation bundling comes in. It's pretty neat. The basic idea is only do thing you really enjoy while you're doing thing you're putting off.
Like pairing things up.
Exactly. So maybe you only listen to your absolute favorite podcast while you're on the treadmill. Or you only get that fancy coffee after you've tackled those first 3 emails. Or maybe you only watch your guilty pleasure TV show while you're, say, folding laundry.
Okay, I see. You link an immediate pleasure to the less pleasant task.
Precisely. It sweetens the deal for your present self.
And that makes a lot of sense. Almost like tricking yourself, but in a good way. Is that sustainable, though? Or does the trick wear off?
It's a fantastic way to build momentum and establish the habit. The idea isn't that you'll need the bribe forever, but it gets you over the initial hump. Often, once the habit forms, the task itself feels less daunting. Now, flip side, strategy number 2. Make the consequences of procrastination more immediate.
Okay, make the pain of not doing it feel closer.
You got it. If you plan to exercise alone, skipping today might not feel like a huge deal, right? The long-term health cost is abstract. But if you commit to meeting a friend for that workout at 6 a.m. tomorrow...
Suddenly, skipping means letting them down, looking like a jerk.
Exactly. The consequence, social awkwardness, guilt is immediate and tangible. Or maybe you tell your neighbor you need to clear out your garage by Saturday because you promised to help them move something heavy afterwards. Now there's leverage. You don't want to flake on them. There are even services like Stick where you literally put money on the line. If you don't meet your goal, the money goes to an anti-charity, somewhere you really dislike. Talk about skin in the game.
Wow, okay. So you're basically creating immediate stakes. I like how these strategies reshape the environment.
What about commitment devices? That sounds related.
Very related. That's strategy 3. Design your future actions using commitment devices. These are choices you make now to basically lock your future self into better behavior.
Give me some examples. Sure, trying to eat healthier. Buy snacks in small, single-serving packages instead of the giant bag. Makes it harder to mindlessly overeat later.
Simple but smart.
Want to waste less time on your phone? Delete the most distracting apps entirely before you start your workday. Or maybe hide the TV remote in a difficult spot. Setting up automatic transfers to your savings account. Classic commitment device. You're making the good choice the default, removing the need for willpower in the moment.
So you're essentially outsmarting your future easily tempted self.
Okay.
That's powerful. What else can we do to lower that barrier to just starting?
Strategy number 4. Make the task more achievable. Remember, the friction is highest right at the beginning, so make the beginning ridiculously easy. This leads us to the 2-minute rule.
The 2-minute rule.
Yeah. The idea is any new habit you want to start, scale it down so the very first step takes less than 2 minutes. Want to read more? Just commit to reading 1 page. Want to exercise? Just put on your running shoes. Want to write? Just write 1 sentence.
So the goal isn't completion, it's just initiation.
Exactly. It's almost impossible to say no to something that takes less than 2 minutes. And what often happens is, once you've started, that little bit of momentum makes it easier to keep going. You trick yourself into starting, and then inertia helps out.
I remember reading about Anthony Trollope, the novelist. He wrote something like, 47 novels? Insane output.
Incredible.
And his method was breaking it down, right? Like 15-minute blocks.
That's right. He aimed for 250 words every 15 minutes for 3 hours a day. Think about that. Instead of facing the daunting task of write a novel, he focused on these tiny, achievable chunks. He got that little hit of accomplishment every 15 minutes.
Which kept him going on these massive projects.
Perfectly illustrates the point. Making tasks smaller helps you maintain momentum on big goals. And, just as importantly, completing that first small task quickly sets a productive tone for your entire day. That tiny win matters.
Okay, these are great for getting started in the moment. But what about the long game? How do we move from occasional bursts of productivity to, actual consistency? How do we really kick the procrastination habit for good?
Right, building the habit of productivity. Well, for long-term consistency, one of the most powerful systems I know is also surprisingly simple. It's called the Ivy Lee method.
Ivy Lee. Okay, tell me about it.
It's over a century old, actually, but incredibly effective. Just 6 steps. Step 1. At the very end of your workday, write down the 6 most important things you need to do tomorrow. No more than 6.
6 out of.
Step 2. Prioritize those 6 tasks in order of real importance. Step 3. When you start work the next day, Focus only on task number one. Don't even look at the others until number one is completely finished.
Single tasking.
Pure single tasking. Step 4, then move to task 2, finish it, then task 3, and so on. Step 5, at the end of the day, any tasks you didn't finish, move them onto your new list of 6 for the next day. Step 6, repeat this process every single day.
It sounds almost too simple for today's world, with all the complex apps and systems out there. Why does it work so well?
Its simplicity is its strength. First, it's easy to stick with because it's not complicated. Complex systems often fail because they're hard to maintain. Second, it forces you to make hard choices about what truly matters. Limiting yourself to 6 forces prioritization. It's like Warren Buffett's 25-to-5 rule: focus intensely on a few vital things, ignore the rest.
Cuts through the noise.
Exactly. Third, it eliminates that "what should I do now?" paralysis. You already decided the night before. Your first task is waiting, removes the friction of starting. And fourth, as you said, it mandates single tasking. We think we can multitask, but we really can't, not effectively. Deep work requires focus. This builds that focus muscle.
So it's about clarity, decision-making, and focus. Makes sense. What's another good long-term strategy for staying on track?
Using visual cues is another really powerful one.
Visual cues, like sticky notes.
It could be sticky notes, or a calendar on the wall where you cross off days you completed a habit, or a chart tracking your progress. Anything visible that prompts the behavior you want.
How do they help exactly?
Well, first, they act as reminders when your initial motivation fades. You see the cue, it prompts the action. Second, they make your progress visible. Seeing a chain of X's on a calendar showing you haven't missed a day is incredibly motivating. It taps into something called the endowed progress effect. We're more motivated to finish something once we see we've already made progress. It reinforces the habit.
Okay, so we have tactics for starting, systems for consistency, visual prompts. But let's circle back to the psychology. How do we manage those deeper things, the fear, the self-doubt that often fuel procrastination in the first place? What's the mental game?
Great question. This is crucial for lasting change. First, awareness and assessment remain vital. Keep checking in. Why am I delaying this specific task? What does it feel like? Is it boredom, fear, overwhelm? Naming it takes away some of its power.
Acknowledging the real reason.
Yes. Second, look at your outlook and goals. Try breaking down overwhelming tasks, sometimes called the Swiss cheese method. Just poke small holes in it with short bursts of focused effort, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Also, connect tasks to your personal reasons for doing them, not just external pressures or avoiding failure. A crucial point here: goals others set for you aren't really your goals, they're obligations. Find your own why.
Makes it more meaningful.
Definitely. Third, practice active engagement. Don't just passively go through the motions. Find something interesting in the task. Set a mini challenge for yourself. Ask questions. This combats boredom and frustration. Fourth, rebuild commitment, self-trust. Procrastination erodes trust in yourself. So start small. Commit to a tiny task. Follow through and acknowledge it. Maybe even a small reward. Repeat this. It rebuilds that sense of, I can rely on myself.
Baby steps to rebuild confidence.
Exactly. Fifth, manage your surroundings and self-talk. Work in places where you're usually productive, avoid spots associated with procrastination, and consciously shift negative self-talk like, ugh, I wasted so much time, to forward-looking statements like, okay, I will start on this for 10 minutes right now.
Reframing the internal narrative.
Yes. And finally, maintain realistic expectations and maybe try and unschedule. Habit change takes time. Be patient. And if rigid schedules stress you out, try and unschedule. You basically schedule your free time and commitments first, then track the time you spend working in the open slots, rewarding yourself for blocks of focused work. It can feel less constricting for some people.
Wow. Okay. So pulling this all together,
Sure.
procrastination isn't just being lazy. It's this really complex dance between our present desires and our future goals, often tangled up with fear and how our brains value time.
That's a great summary.
But the good news is, by understanding how it works, the psychology, the neurology, and by using these smart strategies, like temptation bundling, commitment devices, the 2-minute rule, the Ivy Lee method, visual cues, and managing our mindset, we can actually shift the balance. We can move from delay to action.
Absolutely. This deep dive hopefully gives you a solid framework mixing the science and the practical to bridge that gap between wanting to do something and actually doing it. And always remember that first step, just starting, is usually the hardest part. Motivation often kicks in after you begin.
So here's something to think about. Knowing, as we've discussed, that being stuck in procrastination often feels worse than actually doing the work.
Yeah.
What's one single tiny step, maybe even a 2-minute step you can take right now to finally cross your own action line on something you've been putting off?
Give it a try. Apply some of these ideas. You might be surprised at the difference it makes in your day-to-day life.